Peace to all the queens.
What's up out there? We live.
Tapping in.
I need everybody to tap in.
Cool people.
Everybody to tap in.
Eat with a poet. I pay attention to Elena and her podcast. Never leak it and show it. Gotta pull your own weight if you reap it, you sow
Your
it.
own weight out here.
Yeah, gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food, come
Shout out
and eat
to
with a
Elena.
poet.
Hey, that's my dance, y'all.
Shout out to Elena the poet.
Y'all know that's my one dance.
See, I need
My
everybody
one
to
chair
tap in,
dance.
subscribe.
Hey, hi everybody. How are you doing out there? Thank you so much for joining us back on Eat with a Poet for our 6th episode. I am your host, Elena the Poet, and we are, of course, in the building today, Gigi's that is. We're going to go ahead and get our shout outs out the way because you know how we roll. All right, so the first shout out we're giving out today is to my home team, which is Cool People. You know I love you. You are my people. All right, I am shouting out Bell P Photography and Videography because he is my videographer. I just love my Bell Peasy. One time for Crystal Chanel with Press Release Marketing. One time for Wawa Edwards. That's at Wawa Oak for her hair braiding. You can actually follow her at Wawa's House of Beauty. That's located in Lauderhill, Florida, so please check her out. I am shouting out WP Marketing. That's my marketing team. I'm shouting out Maury Tai with Beyond Imagination Art because she keeps me looking so beautiful and so subtle, so she says. I am shouting out Miss Gigi Brown for letting us shoot here at Gigi's Music Cafe. We loving on Miss Gigi. We hugging on Miss Gigi right now. All right, we are shouting her out also for she is the owner of G's Gourmet Market here in Sunrise, Florida. She is the owner of English Brown Winery where she has a wide variety of wine selections that are her very own. And you know we shouting out the chef in the back today. One time for the chef. All right, we are shouting out, last but not least, Jesus. We shouting out Jesus because I'm a Jesus girl. Gang, gang, gang. Already, like they say, already. Oh, my boo's in the building. Come here. My baby. Someone, throw up the deuces. You know what I'm saying? Bob Marley. Okay, so we are going to get in today's topic, which I am so excited to discuss with you guys today because this topic was one that I actually kind of piggybacked off of, but it's a very real topic and it's one that I know needs to be discussed. All right, so today we're going to talk about dating outside of your race. How about that? How y'all feeling? You feeling? How you feeling? If you're feeling some type of way, I need you to subscribe, hit the like, give me your comments, say what you need to say. I'm listening. I wanna vibe with you. So this topic was one that I saw the importance of when I watched a Kevin Samuels episode on YouTube about Gabby Sidibe and her engagement to a white man. It don't matter if you're black or He mainly wanted to address the black women who had so much to say in reference to her dating outside, which he referred to as dating out. Okay? He was saying how the black women congratulate her because of the black man who lacks in ways, obviously enough for women to deem dating outside to be a winning thing, right? Then on the other side of that, he wanted to address also that he felt some type of way because the black woman criticized the black man when he dates out. Interesting. Chimes in, guys. All right. Basically making the black woman a hypocrite. All right. So here's the thing. We are all hypocrites, men and women. Let's just get that out the way, just in general. And for as much as we won't admit it openly, we are. All right. Now, I'm not going to have much experience talk when it comes to dating outside my race. Call me boring. But I spoke about this in my second show with my guest, Elle Michelle. If you guys can remember that episode.
Do you know I've never dated outside of my race? step outside that bit.
If you
try.
I always felt like a non-black male would be different in taste, touch, and connection. Although I have seen some, let's just call them coffee creamer men that I have almost said dang out loud to. Now that's just the beauty of a man and the way that God naturally made a woman to be attracted to them. Okay? Let's just be honest. All right? Okay, so is it true that it's better to date a coffee creamer man as a black woman? I need your feedback. Please chime in and let me know what you think. From my ladies who know especially, okay? I'm talking to especially you. Now I'm not talking about if you dated him like 2 dates and then you never saw him again, and or you had a conversation with a coffee creamer over the phone and you felt different. No, okay? I'm talking about a real experience dating outside your race. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Because it was just sitting there. And then the ice was melting and stuff. So, you know. Woo! Yeah. All right. So one of the things that I love the most about Kevin Samuel's show is that he is very direct. See, I'm transparent. But I don't feel like I'm as direct as him. I still put sugar on it because I care if I offend people. He doesn't care who he offends. He just says whatever he feels. And I love that he understands his freedom. But to a point, right? To a point, I want to give my opinion on why I feel like black women may think it's better to date outside. I think we're just not able to humble ourselves completely, you know, to the authority of a black man for several reasons that may tie into some unresolved trust issues. But moreover, I think we as black women just have a problem with authority switch somewhere inside of our DNA, and it just comes on whenever someone is trying to tell us something that doesn't sit right with us. Right. For real. And I also know that I can't have a man who is weak either, you know? So, and I know there's some sisters out there who can agree with me on that. Now, does that make us crazy for not wanting someone who will tell us what to do, but not wanting someone who won't? I mean, it is what it is, right? But we as women have got to work on that. I'm laughing and everything, you know, but I'm going to raise my hand and say, we as women do have to work on that, because there must be a balance. And we know this, like anything in life, we must find balance for the choosing of our mate. And we need help with knowing how to be a woman to him, for him to bring out the best version of him going forward and into the future. Because isn't that what it's all about, guys? Right? You are not who you are going to be. Is that not right? We change over time. So if we must evolve individually as we age, are we not to evolve one another as we evolve? Well, I say yes. Okay. Now that's my bag of opinions. But it gets so deep. Are your wants his wants? Are his wants your wants? You know, are you choosing his future for him based on your choices and his choice to be with you? Or are you contributing to his future based on your understanding of the self journey? Okay. All right. These things are important, y'all, but this is not the mentality of today's culture. So the culture is influencing women and younger women to get his money and buy what you want, then get your own bag, but especially get his bag. Do not respect him. Just give him some, what they call it, wet. I had to laugh. I really had to laugh, y'all, because I didn't want to say it, but I had to make myself say it, because that's what they saying. That's what they call it. They call it wet. Okay. And go shopping. Get his bag and go shopping. Where is this going to end up? if this is what it is now, will marriage be a trending topic for all the right reasons? Will marriages last without being taught the right way to be with each other? I'm just asking. That's a question. Like, how? I don't know. Will Black women begin to think more that the treatment is better with men outside of their race? And we just have a world of single Black men and single Black women with babies all over the place. I mean, let's just keep it real. We may not stay together. Oh, but we gonna be together, if you know what I mean. Yeah, no. All right. So what I'm saying is, I want to talk about this, guys. Like, we be all over the place sometimes. I'm just being real with my people. You know, this is for everybody, but, you know, especially for my people. So I'm going to discuss dating outside the race with some amazing men that I have in the building with me today. And I cannot wait to sit down and eat with them. They are going to tell you who they are, what they have going on, and then we're going to get into our questions portion where we tap in and break it down, and they share with you some things that can be useful and helpful to some or all that are watching. So stay tuned. Right after this, we coming back. Eat with the poet.
Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a poet.
A&E Financial and Tax Services are now accepting clients. We are located in the Jewelry Exchange Plaza, 7124 North University Drive, near the DD's Plaza. So come on in, book your appointment.
Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a poet.
And we are back. And we are in the building with my guests. And y'all, I'm on go right now, like real go. Not from the Bob Marley, but I'm super high because I have some amazing men that I am sitting in between right now, okay? Just call me a sandwich, call me ham. Call me him, okay? Trust me. So real quick, what I'm getting ready to do, they jokesters too, y'all. It's going to be hard for me not to laugh, so please just bear with us as we get through this session. So real quick, I'm going to start off on my right-hand side with this amazing man. I need you to tell these people who you are and where they can find you and what you got going on. This is the amazing Moses Washington. Talk to these people.
Hey, I'm Moses Washington. Moses David Washington, for those who know me.
David.
You can follow me on Instagram at I am Moses Washington, and also on Instagram, also on Instagram, Mowash Productions. So I have two Instagram, my personal Instagram and my business Instagram. What I got going on? Surviving COVID-19.
Right.
Sitting at home.
Correct.
Working on production. But I got the livest dating show on the internet. So y'all make sure y'all tune in every Wednesday.
You need to make sure we get that information so we can put that in the
definitely. Credit. And I got my talk show, The Hard Truth.
Okay.
So people call in about relationship advice and I give them the hard truth. Not the Adrian truth. The hard truth.
Look, he being funny, y'all. No, this is good. We need to know this, guys. So we're going to make sure you get everything that you need to get about this king right here on the right of me. Now, I mean, is there more? Is there more gifts in the bag?
I'm a playwright, but we on hold. We about to go back to Atlanta, but we can't do nothing right now until the world open up.
Okay. He is a playwright, y'all. He is. That's how I know him. And he's doing amazing things here in South Florida. And I got two to the left of me. You understand? I got some bread and a side dish. And it's going to make for a complete full meal. And so on the left of me is the amazing. And when I say amazing, I say amazing. Right? Got to say it twice. Adrian. I still call him Love Book Carter. All right, but he is Adrian N. Carter, and he is a man of many hats. So I'm going to back off, and he going to tell you who he is, where you can find him, and what he has going on.
How you doing? Thank you for having me on with you. This is amazing. Great to be amongst these prestigious men.
Thank you.
And when I said that, I meant the one to my left. My name is Adrian Carter. I am a conflict resolution practitioner, leadership development trainer. I've been doing that line of work for 20 years. I'm also the author of the 5-star top-selling amazing book, Let's Get Married and Do Everything Except Make It Last, which is available on Amazon.
What's the name of that book again?
Let's Get Married and Do Everything Except Make It Last, a heart-to-heart with men on loving and leading.
Oh.
And the book is available on Amazon, everywhere that books are sold. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all at Adrian Carter Speaks. And you could also catch me on Clubhouse, running and moderating rooms there, as well as Dr. Carter Speaks.
Okay, I love it.
Also, Lena, this brother is an amazing engineer.
Yeah, I heard.
Y'all was gonna you weren't gonna let me tell him. Keenan was gonna tell him. But I'm gonna tell you something. That's what I love. When we got people sitting around each other who love what each other do, and we support one another, and we just can't even wait to like burst out with what they have going on. But yes, Adrian is an amazing producer, engineer.
Yes.
He is full of gifts. But I always say black people got like 30 talents apiece, you know?
That's real. Yeah, so I've had the great honor of doing Elena's spoken word album as an audio engineer, mixing and mastering.
Twice. My first and my second album.
And also Keenan's work, which is more like a secret project, because y'all should know about it, because it's going places that y'all are not supposed to be told publicly until that happens with these big labels. So that's what's up, man. I'm honored to have
hold on. You said Keenan, right? But I needed to introduce him a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? Because he is Keenan, and he also has a girl that he goes with everywhere. She goes with him. I'll let you tell him who she is, but her name is Kay, and I call him I think he belongs to me. I put my dibs on him, but then I'll let him tell you why. But please, to the left of me, this amazing king, please tell them who you are, where they can find you, and what you have going on.
Definitely. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me amongst yourself, a great poet, and these amazing gentlemen that are sitting at the table with us, Mr. Mo Wash and Mr. Adrian, author, movie producer, film, and man, it's amazing just to be sitting here amongst you guys.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope. So if you the ham, right?
If
and the ham is sitting in the middle, that means I'm the top piece of bread, right?
Okay.
Here. So I'm sitting at the top. I'm the top piece of bread. You know.
He needed to say that.
Yeah.
He needed to. He thought about that, and when his turn came, he was gonna be like, you know what? Since she said she was the ham, I'm gonna be like on the top bread because I gotta find a way to be like not the.
I always throw off the bottom bread though whenever I eat sandwiches. So it's too much bread. I throw the bottom bread off.
Or tear the corners off. You gotta tear the corners off.
Speaking of Adrian's book, I was one of the first people to purchase his book.
Oh, were you?
Yes.
What time for that? What time for the
I never got it.
But he never got it.
Never received it?
I never got it.
So yes, I do have the book too, and it is an amazing book. So I am Keenan, Keenan Experience. You can find me on Instagram,
Give me some more plates, boo boo.
as the Keenan Experience. I am a musician, a saxophonist. I've been playing for a team number of years.
How many years? Don't be
a lot of years. It's been a long time. And I would be shortcoming and wrong if I didn't mention my partner, Kay, who she talked about. That's
I love
my girl.
her.
She's my saxophonist. She's that bad, so I had to give her a name.
Yes. My baby says she's that bad.
Yeah. So that's me.
That's why I put dibs on Keenan, you guys, because you know I am a professional poet, and I like to take him with me when I'm going places because he just makes for an amazing performance. And so I like to call him mine. That he belongs to me. All right. And that's it. So that's who I'm in the building with, y'all. Y'all see my guests. They like digging in or whatever. And that's what time it is. It's time to eat. We was having some real like interesting and fun conversation actually off camera. And these men are a riot. So if you can imagine me being the one girl here, I like to refer to myself as a girl because it keeps me feeling young. You know, and it makes me feel young to be around so many amazing men. So I think it's a real cool thing. I'm gonna dig in your heads and your brains and kind of get some information from you guys. Of course, I have some questions for you. But I have some guys at the table, of course, because we were talking about dating and stuff like that. I know Adrian is divorced, right? You're divorced. Keenan, are you divorced?
Yes.
And you're divorced or single or married?
I've never been married.
So I have a non-married man, a divorced man, and another divorced man at the table. And it's interesting how Adrian is divorced and he is a relationship expert, pretty much. And why I want to talk to Adrian is because he has so much experience that he can share. Because I feel like you can't really help somebody unless you've been through some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Unless you know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? To go through something, come out of it.
Right, that part.
You know, come out of it. And be able to take that experience and turn it into substance. You know? That's what life is about, you know, living and the learning part. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest part. But, and I want to talk to you a little bit more about that. But to my single man, are you looking to date? Are you dating? Are you looking to be in a relationship? How do you look at, like, women when it comes to choosing a mate? Or how does that look to you? What is your mindset right now?
I mean, you look for somebody to build with, you know, that can provide resources to your life, and you can provide resources to their life. You know what I mean? A lot of times, a lot of men date women that don't provide anything else for them. You know, and we be looking for some women to expand us, not us only expand them. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm just talking about connections. I'm talking about ideas. I'm talking about visions. I'm talking about connecting with us to help us move forward what we're trying to do. It's very important, you know. And to be honest with it, and to understand where we at, what we're trying to do, and know how to complement our lifestyle.
And you haven't run into anything like that in your lifetime?
I mean, you do, but you don't like those types. So you look for somebody.
You mean like you don't like them physically, like what they offer doesn't match with your type?
Some of them may have a great personality, but they're not as attracting. Some of them are attracting, but don't have the personality. And you're trying to find an in-between balance. And some of them you just messed up, you know.
Okay, you weren't ready at the time.
Yeah, so.
And it kind of messed up. I get that. What's your experience been like, Keenan, since you've been divorced? How has life been treating you as a single man now, actually, pretty much?
Well, I kind of have to say that I'm in like a catch-22. So a lot of women, because of what I do, think that I'm in a relationship. And it's just no way that I'm not in a relationship because of what I do and how they see me perform. So I find myself...
I mean, like, it's no way that it's not somebody that you messing with. You got to be talking to somebody. You got to be dealing with somebody.
Exactly. So
and it's not that way, huh?
And it's not that way. So I run into the issue of them not believing me, and I'm telling a lie and I'm not telling the truth. So it puts me in a difficult position,
right?
When I try to be real honest, because of the divorce and what I've went through, and you know, I have to be honest. I created some pain there, and I made a promise to myself that the next woman that I came across that I wanted to get into a relationship with, I wouldn't cause that type of pain anymore.
Okay, so you kind of pretty much had an opportunity to be without now and say, this is my mentality now going forward. I know what to do differently now.
Exactly.
Adrian, you and I are friends. So I know that you, after a divorce, and even, I don't know, even if now, maybe you can tell me or tell people, if you don't mind being transparent, you haven't been ready to be in a relationship. Haven't been ready to like completely go back down that road. Have you found, I mean, what is it that, have you found in yourself that you know exactly what you're looking for now, or with everything that you're learning from everything you've, pretty much researched and the experience you gained from that, have you decided that, you're still trying to put together what you feel like will be the perfect person for you? And I just say put together because I think you kind of already know what you want at this point,
Yeah, I've learned so much to arrive to where I am, and as you said, both whether it's from school, personal experience, I've made everything work for my good. I do know what I want, much better than I ever have before, because one of the main things that I've learned to do is to focus on what's going to work for me, not necessarily trying to change who I am as a man in order to work for her. So I've learned how to place people properly in my life, right? Because a lot of times when we incur an initial meeting of someone, it might be because like you have a level of attraction to the person, like, and I don't think anything's wrong with that, right? People are attracted to people,
right? And
so that's the magnetic part of it. But I've learned you got to place people in their proper place in your life, because what happens is that person may be a better business connection than they are a romantic connection, right? That person may be better as just someone to hang out with, or or they may offer you something, but it may not necessarily be for the romantic space. So I've been very focused on making sure that, okay, when people come into my life, where do I place you? Because everybody that comes in for, even if there's a romantic interest, doesn't mean that's necessarily what we're here for.
But so now your mentality doesn't necessarily mean that you're not willing to compromise if you do decide to be in a relationship with a woman for certain things that fit her personality. And I just mean like, because I struggle with that type of situation in the past where it's like, okay, you are who you are. I am who I am. But at the same time, I know that if you were a certain way with me, that it would make me a certain way with you. Right. So it's like, if you talk to me a certain way, it's going to bring a certain feeling out of me as a woman that's going to make me either reject or, pull you in more of that intimate type of love that men really only want in the, in the first place.
Right.
So it's just like, how do you find balance with that, especially being the type of man who's saying, hey, I know what I want. I know who I am.
Yeah. So when I talk about that, I'm looking at things at like a high level, meaning, do we share the same interest? Like this may sound simple, but do we laugh at the same jokes? Right. Because like, ain't nothing like me finding something funny and you looking at me stupid, like, and then you gonna be like, you thought that was funny?
Right.
And I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, that was funny.
Correct.
You wouldn't think that was funny? I'm be like looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Like, like Moses was supposed to spell that word and he couldn't. And that was hilarious. Right. I had to bring him in here. So
I don't know. I was trying to behave.
He hungry. Don't worry. After he fill his stomach, he gonna come for me. So
we're gonna throw shots back and forth.
So, but seriously though, like, so I'm looking at, does the person have the same principles about life that I do? Right? Do we find the same things funny? And I'm not talking. Do we see things relatively politically the same? Do they know how to communicate and have a conversation with me where we understand that we can have a disagreement, but we're actually learning from each other?
It's just a disagreement. It's not an argument.
Right. Like even if I'm like, hey,
but do they know how to argue and disagree? Because people can get outraged when they're upset.
But I've been saying so.
Like, oh no, why you taking this so serious?
So when I talk about that,
though, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that those are the type of things that I'm talking about, and most importantly, does who they are and what they do fit into my life? right? And does what I do fit into their life? Because if it doesn't, then I was just talking to someone today, and I mentioned to him, like, you know, one of the things I've learned is call it what it is. Like, if I like to spend quality time together, and she has a job that she works overnight, or she's traveling a lot, that's not going to work for me. Right? Now, she may be the bomb.com in everything else, but if I know that's going to be a strain for me and that doesn't gel in my life, then don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's going to be a strain in the long run. So it's those type of things that, you know, that I've learned to know who I am, where I want to go, and who I think fits best in that space.
And the funny thing that you say about that is a lot of those things can be discovered at the beginning.
In the very beginning.
Before you get too involved with the person.
Right.
Yeah.
And create this bond. And then later on, there's some type of division because of it. You know? So.
But that comes from lack of communication from the very beginning. People not being 100% honest with one another and going into things, you know, really, for lack of better words, what I like to call it is a high school mentality. You know, it's kind of like a way of, you know, trying to be cool, seem cool, you know, keep all these surface characteristics going, you know, when you meet somebody so that they like you. Even if you don't like them 100% like that, we all just want to be liked. And I found that with men. It's interesting because men will get haircuts and wash their car and get all dressed up and do all these things. Not for one particular woman, but just for any woman in general. You know what I'm saying? In the world, because they're getting ready to go out there into the world. And it's like knowing that they have this mentality that they ain't really trying to be with nobody and, you know, or be with who they meet tonight. Or let me just ask. Let me back that up.
Okay.
Let me back that up.
I see where you were going.
I
see where you were going.
Do you all get dressed up and go out looking for the one?
No, okay. on a regular night, like to just go hang out and hoping I find the one?
Right.
Nah.
So you just going out for fun.
See, that was going back to what I wanted to,
that sounds crazy.
To talk about.
Okay.
A lot of times, we're dating, but we're looking for something else, right? But we don't never get into something knowing that this is not what I want to get into. So when we meet a girl, we just vibe, you know what I'm saying? And we just kind of create the energy. And then sometimes it'd be sexual. And then we get into a sexual relationship with them. And then before we know it, we have this rhythm going on when they never even met our criteria. So we in a whole situation.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So
because you can control your feelings, but you can't control hers.
But we just out here just living, you know? Now, if men start saying, hey, I'm not going to even indulge if they don't even meet my expectation on the phone or the first 2 weeks without trying to get sexual, then we will have a different direction and outcomes. And women too. But we just vibe. We just vibe, like, and we see what is going to happen. But like Adrian said, we have to make sure that we have our criteria, our checkpoints. But we're not dating to be in a relationship. We just kind of seeing what's out there. Yeah, we just easy going.
But, which is cool. But when you're dating just to vibe and to like see how it goes, and I get that, you know, time can do anything. You know what I'm saying? Because you never really know, you know, sometimes, I mean, or just being human in general, emotions are going to come, whether they the kind that she's starting to get on your nerves and you need to find a way to cut this, or the type that's like, dang, this creeping up on me. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even realize it like that, you know, until one particular day she came through and maybe she was walking away and she was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm feeling her like more than you had acknowledged until that one particular time. So I get how those things happen, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, for men in general, like, what is just women. And I wonder this because I'd like to say I know someone who I'm really close to that is like a male chauvinist. And I think it's kind of good to know both sides. Because I think that, like how when you say we're just vibing and stuff like that, we're just kicking it. I think that's kind of I don't want to say male chauvinistic, but I think it's kind of related, like they're neighbors in a sense. You know, I think they kind of live next to each other. Like, and then player lives on the other side of there. Got like all in the same community.
Yeah, right.
You know, and so it's like, how do you, as a man, how does it work? Like, because you know, for us as women, we just full of emotions. We could tell you, you know, early how we feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? How we feeling about you? Like, even if we're not sure, because sometimes you can be like, oh, how do you know if you really love him? Because you don't know him. You know, you don't really know a person until you've spent years and years and years getting to know them. You'll never know. But that beginning part, like when you get past that vibing and that chilling type of energy, you know, where does it go from there? Is it like a 2-year, 3-year vibing?
I mean, I think the biggest, Adrian, you can correct me with this. I don't think men know how to control their emotions, to give their emotions away, to give themselves away. We don't know how to carry that I like you a lot or be transparent. So when we meet women, we only expose them to a certain type of life that we want them to be exposed to, because we don't want them to get into the other side of us, that we can be a little bit more transparent. They can kind of see the layers of who we are. Mm-hmm. We can kind of start being naked in front of them. So we hold off women in certain areas. Now the good women begin to get through those areas.
They hang on and get through that.
And they get through certain areas, and then now they start finding out the real us.
Right.
So we usually really date women, and we don't know them, and they don't know us. Mm-hmm. And then when we say it's official, and we want to connect or get married or live with each other, now we exposed to who you are.
Yes.
And we never even met you.
Yes.
I'm like, I didn't know you did that.
Correct.
Because we don't expose everybody to our lives and our secrets and our desires and our fetishes and all that other stuff. So yeah, it's almost a shock when you get into the same house as somebody that you have to live with, how they suck up their nose, or, you know what I'm saying, brush their teeth, run the water, take showers, how they vacuum, what they don't like to clean up, you know.
Who the heck you been dating?
And you got
I had to live there before, you know. So,
but at the same time too, they got to be ready for what comes with you, and you have to be able to be like, okay, she's gonna see this about me.
Oh, but wait,
you know what I'm saying?
Both ways.
She getting ready to notice about me. Like, I never took my shoes off around her, but now she getting ready to see it. You know what I'm saying? All the time.
I think both men and women are taught to be manipulative in the dating space. Period. I think.
Taught how, Adrian?
So I think we're socialized. We're taught to. We're taught to hide certain parts of ourselves, slow release some aspects, create a particular narrative of who we want to be and how we want to be perceived by the person.
Was that wrong?
But we're taught that from children.
Is that wrong though?
No, I'm not necessarily saying it's wrong, but I think it's misleading. Right? I think it's misleading, and I think ultimately in the long run we don't know how to be honest. Right? Even when we sometimes try.
Mm-hmm. I think that what you're saying goes to when we were children. We're taught to have manners. You know, having manners to me is a proper way of excusing natural functions in public or in certain things that we're taught to hide. Mm-hmm. Things that are a certain way that they are, realistically, we're taught to hide those things and pretend like it didn't happen or it doesn't exist, or, you know, so we are taught to do that. We are taught to be self-conscious, confident yet self-conscious. You know what I'm saying? Have pride in yourself, but when you fart,
be humble.
You better not do that in the room with people. You better go outside, or, you know, you don't want people. Or have you ever seen people? Have you ever walked down the aisle inside of a grocery store and walked past, and you know somebody, that person that was right there, had to have passed gas because you know you didn't do it and you just walked into it. But that person's not going to admit that. They're just going to keep walking, minding their business, right, like they didn't know anything happened. That's how we are as human beings. So quite naturally, we're going to take those characteristics into a relationship with the opposite sex, because certain things about a man that he doesn't really want to, or even personal things he doesn't want to reveal to a woman unless he's really, really close to her and feels like it's something that, you know, she can know. You know?
So it speaks to being emotionally vulnerable. Mm-hmm. Yes. and emotionally available, and I think that's challenging for people.
and I think I look at it too as a defensive mechanism.
Absolutely.
That's true.
I give you this information. Now you have to take care of it and protect it. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to protect my feelings and my emotions because I gave you this information.
Correct.
So now you're responsible for how you handle it when you're upset.
Correct.
Because that will hurt me.
Correct.
And I don't know how I respond to things that I let you know if you don't cherish it the right way.
Because I carry myself a certain way.
So if you expose me, that can be that's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So we stand off because we know what people can do to you.
Yes, that's true.
And with so much pain going on, with it being a defensive mechanism, that stifles our communication also. So we don't divulge certain things within a relationship or at the beginning of the relationship because of past hurts. If it's happened multiple times, and I know a lot of women deal with it more than men do. So they put up
deal with what? More than men.
With
past hurts and different
past
stuff,
hurts. So
different
they
things
put
like
up
that.
this shield, this defensive mechanism.
Women are hurt more often than men are, is what he's saying.
And we're hurt, but we tend to hide it, or we don't want to expose that hurt.
But men
I don't see women hurt because they cry.
Men are not emotional enough for things to hurt them on a consistent level.
Shoot.
A woman can be hurt by the way a man talks to her on a regular basis because she's just sensitive. You understand? Men are not going to be like that. Adrian, I know where your mind and everything is going right now.
Okay.
I know where it's going right now, and I'm feeling your energy right now, Adrian, but I need you to pipe down. I need you to pipe down because I need you to understand what he means. And you can't deny the fact that before you experience heartbreak or before you experience hurt, you have to imagine that it's different for a woman.
Absolutely. Pain is different for a woman.
Right.
Than man, because we're not a woman, so we will experience pain differently.
Correct.
But we do experience the pain and emotion.
You do, but what I'm saying is,
I don't want to say...
For as often as a woman is...
For every hurt woman, there's a hurt man.
Okay. I mean, I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is women are not as armored up emotionally as men are.
Do you know how many men get turned down by women that hurts them?
I don't know. Would you say it's hurt or would you just say it's a feeling of rejection?
That's hurt for us.
Okay.
Like when we really like a woman and they don't like us back, that's a sign of hurt. And we take it
really like. Define really like though.
Like if we're into
Very
somebody,
interested.
we're into somebody and we're pursuing them, and they don't like us. That affects us. So just as you can cry instantly, or somebody you talk to don't want you the same way, we get that same rejection when we out there trying to find that woman that we like.
Let me jump in real quick.
I'm just saying it's just different levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happened.
It is.
Let me tell you what happened.
What happened?
Why are you saying what you're saying?
Go ahead. Tell me.
Women are emotionally reckless.
I'd like to say emotionally imbalanced, but he says reckless. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to agree with everything he says, but go ahead.
But I'm listening. I'm listening.
Women are permitted to be emotionally
permitted. I love this
socially
word choice.
permitted to be emotionally expressive, and with that permission, they are reckless. Which means they have society. When a woman is spazzing out, that's okay. It's a woman showing her emotions. She's allowed to let her emotions spew as much as she wants because of how someone talked to her, because of something that was done to her. I'm not undermining the legitimacy of her reasons. Okay. So we're not talking about that.
Come on.
I'm talking about her ability, how she's permitted to respond.
Okay.
Right.
Right. By the world. Right.
By the world. Okay. Men, on the other hand, we've created a rubric of says this is the box that men have to stay in order to maintain his masculinity. So he is not allowed to be emotionally reckless. By definition of being emotionally reckless, he is deemed feminine. You're acting like a woman. In order to act like a man, you have to be emotionally responsible, right? And And the misinterpretation of that is that not that men are actually emotionally responsible, they are emotionally suppressive. They suppress their emotions because I can't go spaz out and cry and whine and yell and show that all and express all of these emotions. Right, hold on. Let me just finish.
Let the doctor finish, because go ahead, doctor.
So what ends up happening is we look at women, and what women have done is women suck up all the air of victimization.
He loves it.
Right?
He loves to know what he knows.
They are allowed to be the only victim all the time. And they overlook the emotions of men. So then we get to say, well, men don't hurt the same way women do. It's not that men don't hurt the same way women do. Men are not allowed to be as expressive about how they hurt the same way women are allowed to be expressive. So that's why you have this outward expression by women and this inner battle that men are fighting, and it comes out in toxic masculinity. It comes out in violence. It comes out in mental health. And now we're saying, oh man, men need to go get help. Why they need to go get help? Oh, man, because they were never allowed.
This the man, man.
They were never allowed to be taught how to be emotionally responsible. So we actually have not people who are centered. And when I say centered, an emotionally mature person who knows how to balance themselves, who knows how to process their thoughts, who knows how to show up and maintain a certain level of equilibrium. No, we have women on one extreme and men on the other extreme being suppressed and being expressive, and none of it is for the better of it. But we keep on trying to say, oh, well, this is how women are, this is how men are. And I think all of that is incorrect.
Okay.
I'm going to try to say this slow.
Okay.
Because he dropped some nuggets.
Go ahead.
But I have two things. First of all, women, I have 2 points, so y'all can bear with me. Women, their body changes. They have a monthly that changes.
Please talk. Go ahead. I'm here. Okay, pay attention.
Their emotion. They carry children that changes their emotion.
Oh, Jesus.
They carry
I ain't being biased.
A lot of different emotions.
He hitting me with his words.
Go ahead.
I'm being electrocuted right now.
That men don't have the opportunity to even understand how that affects them, right? Secondly, if a woman don't cry, right, and they's tough, then we will say that you too tough to even be with me. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody a little bit more softer, right? Secondly, I think that God is amazing, right? He created us in different ways so we can balance each other. Okay. So, and I know Adrian's going to go against this. You have the alpha male and you have a woman. Now, if you take away socialization and stuff like that, it's easy to say that a man can just beat up a woman anytime he wants, right? So the skill set that woman has is to get into our emotion by showing their emotion to bring us down, to affect us in a way, because they don't have the strength to overpower us. So they have to use other abilities through emotion, through softness, through other skill sets that makes them a woman. So if you take that away, you know what I'm saying?
You're still talking about.
Now, do y'all understand why I say I'm in a sandwich? So, because I agree with both of them.
So if a man if you're saying that a man can't express themselves the way, that's fine and dandy. But you got to understand what women are up against and how their survival mechanisms kick in to get us to understand and be submissive to them, to be more protective of them, because they feel that we need to protect them. Now, society has created financial structures that may seem like a woman can take care of themselves and do it, but they all are needed. When they're outside walking by themselves and they by their man, they're not going to grab their wallet. They're going to grab their man and be like, hey, we're in an environment in a place that I'm unfamiliar and I want you to protect me.
Can I use that?
Hold on. Let me just say this, Adrian. Moses made a post on Facebook a month or so back about Sierra and the husband, Russell
Wilson.
And he made a very valid point about how, Russell allowed for her to be a woman, which allowed for him to be, a man. And which I thought was a very valid point, and it was really good and strong. But then on another note, I let someone who is a male chauvinist read that particular post and say, oh man, you know what I'm saying? That's just a man who pretty much and thinks that Russell also is not allowing for himself to be 100% a man because he's allowing this woman to just shine and he just pretty much take the backseat. So for men who think like that, because you had a very valid point, and I think that a lot of us or men would think differently or feel differently if the energy was different. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like men are forced to have this masculine type of mentality, which agrees with you, the beer drinking, standing on the corner, talking trash, waiting on the women to walk by. These macho mentalities that they've tried to place in men from the very beginning, the Al Bundy mentality that they say men should have, how do we get men to, because I think a balance of what you believe and what Moses is saying is what we need to combine in order for things to, but you're never going to have any one man thinking all, that way at the same time. I wonder how we can fix it.
I agree with Moses.
What?
So,
what?
You almost choked.
He caught you off guard, Moses.
Is it recorded?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, we got this one.
Turn it off.
I just want to make sure I heard it.
See, edit that part.
Please edit that out. Okay? That was supposed to happen.
Correct.
I agree with him in understanding how we need each other. Right. So I heard what I heard you say, or how I process what you said is, this is why a woman needs a man, because this is what she's up against in a world that's going to make her emotional. Right?
No,
That's what you heard him say?
That's not what.
No.
You say that she's financial because of the financial institutions.
That was the ending part.
But the beginning part was him expressing that even the design of a woman is totally different than a man, which allows for all these things that you're saying is what's so, allowed by society. He's just saying, because she's built differently, because her body is different.
Yeah. I still agree with that.
Yeah, because she has to endure things that...
She has to get what she wants a different way. She can't force it by force.
Right.
Men are bullies. Women sit down. And if they want to do that in the household, sometimes they do that and it becomes abuse. You know what I mean?
Right.
What we call abuse. So it's laws in place. Not saying that men don't be abused, but women are abused by men that use their authority. And
what kind of woman are you wanting for your wife? Like, because with the Russell Westbrook, what's his name? Russell Westbrook. Not Russell Westbrook. You dope though.
Wilson.
You dope. You's a dope dude though, bro. But Wilson is who I'm referring to. What type of wife are you looking for? Since that's something that you congratulate.
Man, I like that. I mean, I don't mind support my woman. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's sexy. Listen to a woman perform and sing, and then she come on to you, and you.
But she ain't hardly performing that much
right now. I'm just saying, like...
not in these COVID streets.
Not these days. Not these days.
If he wants to express his love to his wife, and that's his love language, by all means, who am I to get into their relationship? Because half of these Negroes that's talking about this ain't in no healthy relationship anyway. Mm-hmm. So let this man be great. Let us promote black love. Let us promote our sisters. Like, we rarely get that. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
We rarely get it. Now, some people's like, well, we do it all the time behind closed doors, but you're not a public figure to change the image of what the perspective are in America. Like, Barack Obama was a black president. Man, that's big for the eyes that we see. Now, was he the first black politician? No, but the fact that he's a black figure with a black wife that he loved, it changes the identity of how we view things. You know what I'm saying? Now it is, we can do this.
Right.
But go ahead, Adrian.
Right.
I was going to say, I agree with what you're saying. Either you're talking about her biology as a makeup, or the social institutions that she has to respond to in life.
Both.
Right? So I agree with both. Okay? So I still maintain my point that what you were talking about are the reasons why she has to, you're identifying what she has to respond to in the world that makes her emotional, including her being built the way that she's built. But the next part of that though is one thing to say, well, these are the reasons that you're faced with. And the next step is, this is how you manage that properly, right? To build an effective person and to build effective relationships. And both sides need that.
Right.
Because the other extreme of men being closed off, macho, and having hypermasculinity is destructive in our society, like you're pointing out. So he has to learn how that balance has to work. Now, if it's a matter of biologically she's on her cycle, there's estrogen, it makes her more emotional. Yeah, he has to learn how to be able to
estrogen
manage her in that particular space. She has to also learn how to say, I'm not going to use this space to be, and this is why I say be emotionally irresponsible, right? Because I'm on my period, I can do anything I want. Now, that's just being emotionally irresponsible.
That's reckless. Like,
right, that's reckless.
We can't give them that.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
We understand that they do change.
I absolutely agree with you. Right, so I think the balance I think, Yelena, you were saying, well, where do we find the balance is both of us understanding each other a lot better. I think men need to learn to be more open to being emotionally expressive, understanding, and vulnerable. And women need to learn how to not be as emotionally reckless because they're permitted to express their emotions a lot more than men are.
All right. And on that note, we are going to get into the question session. I have some questions
I have more for Adrian.
I got some questions for y'all.
I even wanted to expound some more.
I got some questions for y'all right after this. We coming back. Eat with the Poet.
Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a poet.
And I have Belle P, who's filming for me.
Just finished my photo shoot with Belle P Entertainment,
And I am so pleased with Belle P Production.
You're doing it with Belle P Entertainment. Belle P Photography.
What's up, everybody? Make sure you hit up Belle P Entertainment and Photography.
And we are back. And Belle don't never stop recording. He better stop playing with me, catching me on my bad side. You gotta catch me on my cute side, Belle. I'm still here with these menses. And I'm gonna bring a few questions to the table because I know I did, but I'm gonna bring my questions about the topic today, which was dating outside of your race. And I just kind of want to know, what they think and how they feel about that. So the first thing I want to ask, and any of you guys can answer that question, have you ever dated outside your race? And if you have, what race was it?
you starting on this side?
I don't care.
I'll start.
Okay, go ahead.
I've talked to a girl outside of my race.
What race was it?
White.
A white girl.
I liked
Caucasian.
it. I actually liked it. The fun.
You finna get in trouble.
Wait, you had fun dating a Caucasian?
Yeah, but I was embarrassed to take her out and go places, so I knew it wasn't going to work. But everything else surrounding it was.
But why were you embarrassed to take her out?
I mean, it was
was she
so
cute?
strong. Yeah,
She was
If
beautiful.
I'm gonna talk to a white person, she got to be on top of the line.
Y'all better comment and
Top
subscribe and
top
chime
shelf.
in.
Top
You
shelf.
can't get Conscious Moses out here with a white girl. But it just goes. It just goes against everything that I was stood for, and my stance in the community. So
you couldn't never marry a white woman?
no.
Have you dated outside your race?
Yes, I have.
What race was she?
White, Hispanic.
Oh, so you dated a few outside.
Yeah, I have.
What are you naturally
This is
more
a regular.
attracted to?
This is a regular.
What are you naturally more attracted to, Keenan?
I'm attracted to just a beautiful woman.
But you dated more black women than...
Yeah, definitely more black women than any other race. But
It's hard to talk to a white girl. It's hard.
if the woman is attractive and meets the standards that I envision, like they envision, then if we can click, then
Does she kiss like a black woman? Is it different?
no.
Does the taste different? Does her mouth taste different than a black woman? No, I'm just asking. I want to know.
Does it taste? No.
I always never, Adrian, listen to me.
Yes.
I've never dated a white man because
said
I felt like
The hair smell is different.
that's what I'm saying.
Well,
I felt like
yes,
kissing a white man
that
is
is
gonna
true.
taste different.
That is true.
Is their lips different? Do they
I mean, the
lips?
lips are not really different, but
Yeah.
you can.
But like, does their breath taste different?
No.
There
Bad
is
breath is bad breath. Bad breath is
That's
bad
what
breath.
El Michelle said.
So
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I feel
There's some
like,
black people I don't want to kiss.
oh my God. No, I'm just saying, the lips, like the texture of the lips have to be different because the skin is different. The DNA is different.
No, it don't matter what color it is. If it's soft, it's soft.
I thought they were human beings we were talking about.
Adrian, have you dated outside of your race?
No, I haven't.
You've only ever dated black girls?
Yes.
Have you been attracted to any women outside your race?
Yes.
But you never tried it, and why?
So, I technically, I went out once with this wife.
With a white woman?
Yeah.
Why did he hesitate? He didn't know if he was going to say white lady or not. He was like, I went out once with this white.
I went out once. I
lady.
mean, if that's, I don't know how we define dating. So
Yeah,
I mean,
how are you defining dating?
I mean, yeah, because
Dating
I didn't.
meaning seeing someone consistently.
Exclusively?
No.
But I mean, do you mean
Yeah.
like sexually involved?
Yeah,
I'm
like
saying,
the real
I'm looking
deal.
at dating exclusively. Like we committed to each other. No, I
Yeah,
never
like
did
you
that.
can say you
You
what
were
they call it,
interested.
smack bellies.
You were interested and you had something going on. I mean, I went out. Man, this was so long time ago. I'm 40 years old now. This was like when I was 25 or something.
Okay.
Right? You know, so
Okay.
that's been a long time. But other than that, no.
But you ain't never forget that. Because you remember.
Well, you asked
I mean,
the
how can you
question.
forget that?
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I'm saying. That was the one experience he had.
Yeah.
Never went back home.
No, actually, it wasn't a bad experience. In fact, to be absolutely open with you,
Mm-hmm.
I was reluctant to dating her because I was concerned about the racial difference. But I actually regret that I felt like that because she was a dope young lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I passed up an opportunity because I made the race an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She was
Same
really
with me.
feeling me, and I was like, you know what? I think I should have given that an opportunity. Not to say that it would have matriculated into anything more,
Right.
but I didn't even give it a chance because I was like, I don't know how this is going to play out.
So you think you're naturally drawn to black women, regardless? Like if it's choosing, give me black for the choosing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's been more cemented for me getting older. I probably I was in now. I don't know, man. I kind of stick with what you know.
Yeah. No, I get it. You just know home, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what's in this room, even if it's been renovated and, you know, rearranged when you went off and came back. You know home, you know?
Yeah.
It just feels like home, right?
Well,
What you say, Bo?
If you're talking about what it feels like at home, like where I was raised and where I went to school.
Home, like this home.
Oh, okay.
This home.
Okay, because I was around a mix of different cultures.
So you grew up
Yeah.
with diverse
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's why you was the one who dated more than one at this table. Hold on one second. And I have another question for you guys. So Moses kind of said that he thinks that was one of his best dating experiences,
I
right?
didn't say one of my best. I said it was cool. It was cool.
Adrian has said that he didn't really give it that much of a chance, and Keena has said it was cool. It's like any other girl, right? Different, but not so much. But yeah, kind of. All right. Has anybody had any bad dating experience? Have you had a bad dating experience with anyone outside your race or something? Have you experienced negative with someone outside your race that made you be like, that's why I would never date a white girl, never date a, nothing?
Mm-mm.
So it's pretty easy for you guys when it comes to women?
What I can say
You said
is
outside your race, right?
Mm-hmm.
what I can say is a woman is a woman, and if they're devious, the skin color has no bearing on it. If they're devious regardless of what their social background is or what their skin color
I believe
is.
that. So this is what I want to ask. And any of you kings can take that question. Keena kind of answered it just now. But what advice can you give someone who is looking to date, but is not sure about taking a risk with someone outside of their race? They want to try something different than, how would you advise them?
Can we? I don't know. Because I have no experience in it, right?
But you're so educated.
Right, but I think, so do you mind if I kind of adjust the question a little bit? I think the political issue is more resounding about being outside of your race. So, Dr. Umar Johnson says that you, as a black person, you can't fight that fight, the good fight for the black community, if you're married to someone from another race. Because when push comes to shove, if they have to choose, right,
gotta pick a side.
They're going to pick their white background more likely than choose your black heritage. I do think there is some truth to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that there are not white people who are woke and who understand. That's a totally different conversation.
Right.
But I think in terms of being in a relationship, when these issues hop off around race, a black couple understands the plight of black people in their togetherness, I think, a lot more effectively than does a biracial couple or interracial couple.
No. I don't agree with Dr. Umar on that. My best friend in college was black, and he dating nothing but white girls. One of my close friends who was on the national championship team with me is black, and he dating nothing but white girls. The kids that I talk to now, he's in the NFL, he dates nothing but white girls. And they're more passionate about the people than a lot of the people. They do more for our community than some of the people that's in the community. He's vocal about social issues and racism. He speaks about it. Now, I can't say if both of them are going to be on the front line doing it, but I know he's on the front line doing it. So I don't think that takes away your stance of blackness, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're still black. Right. Regardless if you have a white girl at home, you're going to be still treated the same, and you're going to carry the same emotion. A white girl at home is not going to say, hey, you can't be mad at that because we're a white couple, we're a black and white. Like, no.
Well, I just think that
some couples have experience.
Right, and I just think that what you're talking about is a very, very, very small percentage. So you'll find that here and there, like little droplets of
but those people that date
like
outside
that.
of their race don't even identify with black people anyway. Those people that
until they have a
what's that
experience,
right?
So
what's that school
that
had the shooting? The one that had the shooting.
Marjorie
Parkland. So Parkland, they have a different culture. Stone
yeah.
Douglas, they have a different culture of blacks out there. They're wealthy, rich. They don't really associate with the inner city or even understand the identity of what we go through. So they're not even connected to us anyway. You know what I mean? So
and they will be more prone to date.
They will date
outside their race.
Anyway, So that proves my point though. Like,
but even if they dated a black, they will date a black person in the same element or in the same, like you said, date in
so it's a class issue.
It's class.
It's definitely a class issue
social
versus races. Being a racist is classism. Mm-hmm. That's what I believe. And athletes go after white girls because they feel like they the only ones that have money, or if they don't want them just for their money, which is absurd.
They only.
But the perspective of their daddy own this, they got this. The black girl I got to take care of, and I ain't trying to take care of them, but I don't got to take care of her because she got her own. That's all they say.
Right.
She got her own.
Even though technically they still do take care of her. The behavior is exactly the same. They still take care of them.
But the mindset, they're white, they go to a Division I school, they're not on scholarship.
It has been amazing. And we're going to get ready to get out of here. Y'all stay tuned for the next episode. Eat with the Poet. Cool people. Take us out of here.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace to all the queens. What's up out there? Tapping in. I need everybody to tap in. Cool people. Eat with a Poet. Subscribe. Never leak it or show it. Gotta pull your own weight. If you reap it, you sow it. Come eat with a Poet. Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a Poet. Kicking words with the poets, I get lyrical. Physical is great, my journey now is spiritual. Peace to the queens in the nation and foreign. I would like to introduce you to Elena the Poet. Stayed down in the jungle like some bare feet. Now when we toast, ace of spade, no more bare feet. Poking beans, Dane County, yeah, I'm still hood. Spread love, feed the homeless cause it feels good. Now pay attention, this is knowledge of wealth. Throw the school books away, this is knowledge of self. Quiet is kept, listen, this the Revolution broadcast. Now pay attention to Elena and her podcast. Never leak it and show it. Gotta pull your own weight if you reap it.